Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV and welcome to another edition of the Opposition Preview. This weekend, Sunday, big London derby, West Ham, Chelsea at the London Stadium. And to be talking all things West Ham, I'm joined by presenter and West Ham fan Jans. Mate, thanks for coming. Welcome to the channel. How are you feeling heading into this game? Obviously, we both started with 1-1 draws on the opening day. Are you feeling confident for this game for West Ham? You've got a good record against us at the London Stadium. We don't tend to do so well there.
No, I do feel good when you guys come to us, but I don't feel great just because we're a little bit out of whack at the moment. But we looked somewhat okay against Bournemouth. They nicked it against us, so I don't know. I just feel like you lot have spent a lot of dough, man. We've spent dough as well, but how? If you guys don't get a result, I just don't
Mate,
know.
we need it. We need it.
You lot are just throwing money at it. It's got to work. Man City did it. Whatever. I don't know how to feel. I don't feel like we are going to win. That's all I'll say.
Nah, fair. I mean, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, let's address the big talking points around West Ham at the moment. And that's obviously Lucas Paqueta, one of your star players, possibly club record signing as well. Very close to a move to Man City for around £80 million. And then yesterday we have the news coming out that deal's fallen through. And then he's got potential betting charges against him as well. I mean, what's the reaction been amongst the West Ham fans to this big news? I don't think anyone was expecting that at all.
He's been hit with a Tony case. I couldn't tell you what the reaction has been around the West Ham fans because it's been too recent and I haven't checked in. I'm sure they're waffling a lot, which is probably why I haven't checked in.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. Hey, all I care about is that we get him for long enough. Does that make sense? Like, he's going to get hit with a ban. I need like 8 months.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, like we saw with the Tony case and that you obviously these investigations take quite a long time. Tony still played pretty much the whole season with the betting thing hanging over him, so I don't think there's going to be sort of any, swift conclusion to this. But I mean, Paqueta's maintaining his innocence. But I mean, I've had a little look into it, and it does look a bit dodgy. I mean, not saying that he's done it personally, but like
it's very, very dodgy.
You look at the bets, right? And he was odds on to get booked. That's mad. Like when is a player ever odds on to get booked? Something's not adding up there. It was like a weird double. It was him to get booked, and then some other Brazilian player playing for Real Betis in Spain. Both of them to get booked was the double or something. It was a bit strange. I mean, I'm not saying he's placed the bets, but
I can't believe it. Guys are idiots, man. Guys are idiots. Guys are just in Brazil, in the hood, thinking, yeah, we'll get away with this one. Nah, man, they don't even care. Oh, lads. Hey, whatever, I don't care. I've got a fantasy I need to keep.
I mean, what's the view around Paqueta this summer anyway? Before this came out, I mean, obviously City are sniffing about. I mean, the deal might not be dead if there's a swift conclusion to this, but if there's not, you would expect it wouldn't go through. How do West Ham fans feel about Paqueta's potential departure?
There's not going to be a swift conclusion at all. No, it's going to go on for ages. My immediate reaction to him leaving for 8 million was, I don't care for 8 million. I want one more year of Lucas Paqueta. He's under a great contract. He's with us till 27, so it's a bit. It's like Decore at Palace, like Big Six clubs putting like these rumors about or like over reporting tiny interest in guys that just aren't going to leave. Like in the sense that like, because their contracts are so tight. Decore is even more secure than Paqueta in the case because Paqueta would like to go play for Man City. Whenever possible. We saw what happened to Harry Kane. He saw that they blocked him and now Kane's doing the Bayern Munich bits. And I'm sure Lucas Paqueta would like to go, but he said he's not going to force the move. And that's the Brazilian Magnifico. I want to see another year from him. Objectively, he is sensational. He's got a little bit of that Neymar blood. But he's Neymar's younger brother, He's good at a lot of things, not great at anything. But a special player, Lucas Paqueta. Warrior. Dog.
Yeah, I mean,
dog than Neymar.
Yeah, I mean, he's got that £85 million release clause active next summer. So I suppose, like, even if you got him for another season and he went for 85 million the following season, you've made over 30 million quid on him, and it's not. I suppose it's not bad business from a West Ham sense. But I mean, in terms of the money you have spent, obviously Declan Rice left. You got that £105 million from Arsenal for him. What have you made of the way that West Ham have reinvested that? You've obviously bought in James Ward-Prowse. You've bought in Edson Alvarez from Ajax as well. I mean, what are your thoughts on those two midfield signings? Do you like those? Do you think they're good fits for West Ham?
I'd like to go around and ask all the Premier League fans if they think James Ward-Prowse is a pucker player, and all 20 of them would say yes.
Yeah,
gravy baller,
mate. It's got a good set piece on him as well.
Unbelievable, guy. Do you know what? Yeah, guys can't do that. Neymar can't do that.
Mate, he's got an unreal free kick.
I don't know what to tell you. Unbelievable. We are West Ham United. We love set pieces. Kurt Zouma. You know Kurt Zouma. You know how high that motherfucker jumps.
Mate, he's good in the air.
Aged. Aged's not going to be with us in 2 years.
No, I think he's next one to go. Yeah. I
mean, Aged's the one. Like,
yeah,
on the squad, everyone loves him.
I mean, and in terms of Edson Alvarez, I mean, obviously he might make his debut tomorrow in the game. What are your thoughts on him? Big signing from Ajax. I mean,
he'll make his debut.
No,
I think Souček will get another running because he was good against Bournemouth.
Yeah,
it might be Souček and Ward-Prowse. Be interesting to see Souček, Ward-Prowse, and Paqueta.
It's all right, that, isn't it? I mean, do you think you've replaced the Declan Rice? Do you think you've used the Declan Rice money well in midfield?
I'll come back to Edson Alvarez. Interesting. You lose Declan Rice and you go for someone with a similar profile-ish. This is a guy that, from what we understand, is a strong man. They call him El Mashin.
Yeah.
He loves a header. He's okay-ish in tight spaces like Ajax, but it's not his strong suit. He's not going to be driving with the ball past players, but he's got a little bit of footwork, and otherwise just loves a tackle. Mexican bad boy machine. So Edson Alvarez, I'm happy. Why not sign that profile of player when we are West Ham? What would be terrible would be signing some I don't know, some random flair Brazilian or something.
Yeah,
with our midfielders, because we don't need that. You know what I mean? We want to sit in some banks of four.
Yeah. I mean, just a couple of players that you have been linked with, and one that's left. I'm going to start with Mohamed Kudus, obviously another baller from Ajax. I think he's a great player. He's been linked with Brighton. He was linked with us for a while. We've obviously, for whatever reason, not taken the move up. How pleased would you be to see if you could get that deal over the line? Because I think he's a baller.
Brother, that geezer was unbelievable. He is a true footballer, a baller's baller, the kind of guy that you can put in any position, and he's just a baller. And that might be a slight knock. There are some players where you haven't really found their best position, i.e. Havertz. But just get him on the plane, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, 35, 40.
Gravy baller.
I mean, do you think...
apparently the big man's in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Tim Steidlin or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I mean, that sort of 40 plus million pounds, 22 years old, versatile Champions League experience, European experience at Ajax, that'd be a phenomenal signing for West Ham. I mean, do you think if he signs, do you reckon he plays centre forward? Maybe. I mean, just on centre forwards, mate, what's been the reaction to Scamacca leaving? I mean, obviously, he come in for big money or biggish money for West Ham. It didn't really happen for him at all. Now he's gone back to Italy. I mean, is that he just put it down to one of them that, do you know what, it just didn't work out? Do you think he ever wanted to be there in the first place?
Well, I'll give you the landscape. Gianluca comes in, almost certainly a signing from the board. You know, Moisey, I'm sure, liked having him. But as Mikel Antonio said on the Filthy Fellas podcast, Luca is a baller. He is a tech man, but to play the 9-dog in that Moyes system, you've got to be a dog. You're sitting deep. You're required to sprint long distances. You're required to dogfight, scraps, winning throw-ins, God knows. And Scamacca's too good for that, man. Scamacca can curl it from outside, do you know what I mean? Outside, 25 yards outside the box into the top corner.
Yeah.
He can do a lot of stuff, you know. And so, again, I don't know the general opinion, but my opinion, I've been in around it. Like, what can I say? He came, looked good, scored some good goals in the Conference League.
Yeah.
Conference League run was 14 matches, like over 11,000 miles, didn't lose a single game. So the guys that went away and guys that are really watching West Ham, they know that Scamacca had a good year. Played the whole year with a torn meniscus, like a metatarsal or something like that. Had to get surgery at the end, and was just in and around the squad. Was an Italian boy, so when Ogbonna weren't about, he was a little bit like lost in a sense.
Yeah.
Like, a little bit on his ones. There's a big French clique and a big English clique at West Ham. French boys, there's about 8 of them. English boys, there's plenty. And so,
I mean, do you worry? I mean, obviously, Antonio's probably going to be the main forward for now, unless Kudos comes in or someone else comes in. You're going to be relying on Jared Bowen for a lot of goals. Do you worry for your boys that where are the goals going to come from? A little bit like us, you know, we bought some, we've got some attacking, some exciting attacking talent, but you're still not sure where a regular source of goals is going to come from. I mean, do you worry for West Ham where regular goals are coming from?
Yeah. Apart from Jared Bowen, and if Bowen's not firing, or if Bowen gets injured, touch wood, it's a struggle. It is. You know, Ben Rama popped up with 9 goals last year. Obviously, that's my boy. So, other than that, you see how I'm talking about it. It's a little bit.
It's not that many options there, is there?
No, it's not clear cut at all.
I mean, just on one player from us that you've been linked with, you certainly looked at, you might go back in for later in the window. What would your thoughts be on West Ham signing Conor Gallagher potentially?
Yeah,
so it's all right.
I could do it. Like, there are certain things that Gallagher's limited in, but there are a lot of players, including ours, that have limitations as well. I don't know how I'd feel about it, actually.
I mean, if you had a 3-man midfield of Gallagher, Ward, Prowse, and Edson Alvarez, and Souček in there as well as options, and Paqueta as well, that's suddenly quite a good group of midfielders. It's not terrible. It's
Gallagher can score sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, on David Moyes, mate, what are your thoughts on him? Because I mean, obviously, you know, he won you the European trophy, fantastic, and that, but from what I'd seen kind of from the outside looking in, certainly before that, a lot of fans were unsure on whether he should continue. Obviously, he's earned the right to decide if he wanted to continue by winning that trophy. But do you think he should have walked away after that and sort of started again with someone else? Or do you think it's right that he's going to carry on for a bit?
See what it is that Brighton away, we lost 4-0. They're all screaming, Moyes out. Moyes after goes, the fans are supposed to get behind us. So it's already a little bit techie. We win the Conference League. The whole time, we are playing such bad football. Like, we are playing stinky football with all due respect to the boys. They know it last year. I'm not saying anything that we all don't know.
Yeah.
We couldn't string passes together, mate. Like, that's what bad football is objectively. And so, I don't know. It's not nice when you're watching your team, and when someone like Ange goes into Spurs, and kind of immediately you can see systems, real clear systems, and that's no knock. Remember, I'm just an average bloke on David Moyes. I don't know. I'm kind of just calling what I see. We're just not playing football. You can't tell me we're stringing loads of passes together. Sometimes Paqueta, Rice, and Ben Rama, the only 3 real ball players, would just get the ball and just play between them. Just this is long. Like, we're going to achieve some passes just by keeping it between us. So there's the overall context on how it is having Moyes. But we won the big bastard Europa Conference League, Champions Europe, playing Europa League.
Yeah, you're playing Europa League as well, so it can't be too bad. I mean, looking ahead. looking ahead to Sunday, mate. What worries you about this Chelsea team in terms of Pochettino coming to town? We look much better than we did last season, which is not too difficult. But have you got any particular worries? Any players that you think, geez, these guys could cause a bit of damage to us?
Man, see, I've been looking at the Chelsea, and this Chelsea team has a lot of young players that I like. Yeah. So naturally, this is quite a likable Chelsea team. And with that, I love Nicholas Jackson.
Mate, he's been a revelation. He's been a real surprise as well. I think a lot of us Chelsea fans weren't expecting him to have the impact he's had. Certainly hit the ground in pre-season. Yeah,
Chelsea realised that they need to get back to what they know best. Yeah, they need to get a prime time African striker. His name's Nicholas Jackson, and they've done it. And now, like I said, the recipes are coming back. So interested to see this midfield. Lavia doesn't start, surely. I reckon Caicedo does.
Caicedo will start, yeah, because he's done like a week's training. Lavia only come through the door, was only announced yesterday, so I'd be surprised if he started. But
so I think I quite like that midfield.
The midfield's looking tasty. I mean, no Reece James is a bit of a blow, but that Malagusto looks decent.
Augusto's good.
Yeah, so I mean, so whilst it's a blow for us, it's not as big a blow as it would have been in previous years where we had to put Aspilicueta in. Now we can just bang in Gusto, who's a baller as well. So
Reece needs to, I don't know, bless him, man, but he needs to sort himself
out. I don't know what's going on. It's so frustrating because, like, we're as fans, we're like, we know an injury's coming. You're watching Reece play and you're just waiting for him to get injured. That can't be right. So something needs to fix up there. Whether he needs to go and get the surgery on it or whatever it is. Like, we've got Gusto now. Go and do your thing. Go and do what you need to do to make sure this stops happening. Because this is happening every few months. Like, he'll get injured again this season for sure. And it's a problem. You know, he's the captain. He's a Chelsea boy. But you know, if you're not, availability is the best ability. I don't care how good you are. If you're not available for the team, you're not. You're not important because you're not influencing the game in any way if you're not available. But we've got some tasty players. It's gonna be tricky, mate. As I was saying at the top, you know, our record at London Stadium's poor. I mean, we said the one all there last season. You beat us 3-2 a couple seasons back in a mad game. Like, the record isn't good. It's a tough place to go. We don't particularly enjoy going there.
You fucking Chelsea bastards! Come to the fucking bowl.
Yeah, mate, it's mad. It's mad. But I mean, if West Ham are going to win this game, what have you got to get right?
I think we just got to hit Hughes in the mouth. Hughes are young. We're experienced.
Yeah.
We're actually a bunch of old heads, really. If you look at West Ham, like Dingsy, Antonio up top, Souček just flying through. We're just going to bully you.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the best way for West Ham.
Who are you going to start? You're going to start Raz on the left. Is Raheem just a nailed on starter? Sorry.
Because at the moment, yeah, because Madueke is not fit, or he is fit, but he's not played any games in pre-season, so he's got to be gently bedded back in. But I imagine if we go 4-3-3, which I think in Nkunku's absence we will do, I'd imagine it would be Caicedo sitting in the 6, Enzo and Gallagher playing as the 2 number 8s. We probably have Sterling playing one side, Mudryk playing the other side with Nicholas Jackson up top.
Mudryk's played the other side, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, Mudryk and Sterling can kind of switch. I mean, I prefer Sterling on the right. I think he's better on the right than he's on the left. But, you know, he needs to step up.
Is Mudryk nailed on star?
He should be, yeah. He should be on that left-hand side because we've got out-and-out wingers. We've got 3. We've got Sterling, Mudryk and Madueke. Those are our 3 right now because Ziyech has gone, Pulisic went.
Where's it?
Ziyech has gone to Galatasaray, being announced today probably. Yeah, so Ziyech to Galatasaray. So we fight third time of asking, we've managed to get rid of him because we had the PSG fax machine issue. He didn't go. And then obviously we had the
hating on the kid.
Do you know what it is, right? When he come, right, I was excited because you see him at Ajax, baller, wonder of a delivery, like unbelievable. He come to Chelsea and it just didn't happen for him. Like, he had a few moments here and there, but it just never looks right for him. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know when certain players, right, they come to the Premier League and they're ballers, but they're not cut out for the Prem. I think Ziyech is one of them ballers, a little bit like Timo Werner, where he'll ball in the Bundesliga or other European leagues, but for whatever reason, he come to the Premier League and it didn't really happen for him. Like, I think Ziyech is one of them.
Don't you think with Ziyech though? I don't know. I feel like he's a baller, and he could turn it on in the Prem. There was enough times where he showed magic in the Prem.
He did show magic, yeah, but not on a consistent basis. That's
but
the
like,
problem.
I don't know. I feel like London gets to players like Ziyech.
Yeah, I can imagine the lifestyle
London
and that.
versus being in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in the big city.
Mate, there's a lot going on. There is a lot going on. But I mean, if we we move forward to a score prediction to round out, how are you feeling? Do you think your boys are going to get a first win of the season? Do you think another point on the board? What's your feels on a score prediction?
1-1.
1-1. Who's gonna score? Who's gonna score for your boys?
Danny Ings.
Danny Ings, mate, that goal machine, Danny Ings. Well, there we go.
Dings.
Mate, I feel a lot more confident than I have in a lot of Chelsea games. So I think I've got to back the boys. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win, but I really wouldn't be surprised if it ended up
sipping that blue Kool-Aid.
Yeah, really wouldn't be surprised if it was a draw in the end. But I'm going to back the boys for a 2-1. I'll be at the London Stadium Sunday, so hopefully we can make it a successful trip there, because it's been a while since we've won. It's been a good few seasons since we won there. But yeah. Jans, thanks for your time, bro. Massively appreciate it. I mean, the people want to check out more of your stuff, what you do, where's the best place for them to go?
Okay, so they need to follow our YouTube channel. It's the Front Three. We've got 77,000 subscribers.
Wow.
It's been the last 2 months and it's been popping. So follow the Front Three and type Yarns in on Instagram. See what the crack is. I've only got 6K followers, but like,
it's growing.
Streets know. Do you know what? It ain't even growing. Like my Instagram is like like it don't grow.
Nah, fair.
It sits, but the streets know that Yarns.
Yeah, guys,
the best in the game.
Guys, make sure you check out all that stuff. Will be linked in the description below. Thanks for your time, bro. Let's hope for a positive performance on Sunday for Chelsea. Let's hope we can get a first win under Pochettino and get 3 points on the board, hopefully. But yeah, guys, make sure you smash a like. Make sure you subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll catch you again in another video soon. Up the Chelsea, and peace out, people.